Good morning. Just a quick recap on the Snowball. Today I'm going to read part 3. In parts 1 and 2, the king and the prince, on a cold winter's day, decided that they wanted to go out amongst the people to watch them play. There were frozen lakes and meres, and they made their way to one of those frozen meres, and the prince joined in the children's games. But in high spirits, he threw a snowball at his father, and there is now suspicion that it was malicious, and the soldiers have taken control, and they want justice for the king. So we'll pick up the story with the commander of the army. The commander of the army, vowing to his lord, said the king's attacker would be hunted by the sword. All the king's advisers offered a solution. Some feared it was the start of a bloody revolution. We'll nip this in the bud and make the rebels scream. A hanging in public would not be too extreme. The prince began to wish that the prank could be retracted. He was frightened and alarmed by the way that they reacted. Some men think things through, while others fear the worst. Some men see a trickle and say, the dam will burst. Not wanting to be hasty, the king said, take the names of all the people gathered on the lake for winter games. The prince was distressed. It was just a bit of fun. He watched the people lining up for something that he'd done. On the journey homeward, nothing was the same. The prince could feel the heavy sky threatening to rain. All of his body felt sickened by a blow. He was blinded by one thought to the beauty of the snow. It might have looked more beautiful, but nothing could be right. He wished he hadn't done it. He wished it was last night. He couldn't hear the horses now. He couldn't hear the sleigh. His pulse was all one dreadful thought that took his voice away. You're quiet, said the king. The prince nodded his head. I expect you're looking forward to getting home to bed. Meanwhile, by the lakeside, the soldiers took control. They strutted up and down, the lines queuing for the roll, delighting in their freedom, walking free and straight, gloating over others who had to stand and wait. Each person gave their details. No one was above it. Everything was orderly the way that soldiers love it. Long after sunset, the commander took the list. He gave it to the king, and not a man was missed. The commander said, give me the word. I'll settle this one quick. I'll hang one of these men. That's sure to do the trick. I offer you security. It will only cost a life. I know you're not a cruel man, but insolence is rife. The king said, that's enough. Each man is more than dust. Whatever I decide, it must be fair and just. What will the king decide? Final part tomorrow.